What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we're checking out the ultimate speakerphone. What we have here today is called the AnkerWork S600. This speakerphone will change the way you make those conference calls for work, the way you make those client calls, or basically any calls that you make through this speakerphone. So it will basically eliminate all the noise around you and only your voice will come through. So no more baby crying in those calls, no more dogs barking going through those calls. Only your voice will go through this speakerphone. So mind-blowing impressive. I haven't actually tried or seen anything like this up until now. So very impressive. This features local real-time voice print recognition and non-target voice elimination. That means that only your voice will come through those calls. If you have someone talking next to you, the other voice will not come through on the other end of that conversation. It also features Voice Radar 3.5 AI noise reduction. So all the noise that's around you, a baby crying, a dog barking, traffic, a lawnmower, or pretty much any noise that's around you, it's not gonna come through on the other end of the conversation. So as I said, all your calls are gonna sound nice and quiet, like you're in a super quiet office. Starting with a super quick unboxing, the speakerphone comes in this box. Right here inside the box, you're gonna find the user manual. However, the speakerphone is extremely easy to use. We also have a 30-watt power adapter, so you'd use this to charge the speakerphone. We have a couple of USB-C to USB-C cables, and of course, the speakerphone itself. So on one charge, this will get about 16 hours of usage time. So you charge it once and then you have about 16 hours on the battery, or you can just use it plugged in. The speakerphone itself is pretty small, so you can easily take this with you anywhere. And the way it looks, it kind of fits in any environment. I can use it in the office here. I can use it in the living room. I can take it to the kitchen. I can take it to the bedroom. So it kind of fits every environment. And I love the fact that it's not that big. So the top side here is made out of fabric, then we have plastic, and at the bottom we have rubber. So whenever you have this sitting on any surface, it's not gonna move around, it's not gonna slip or anything like that. And there is more. The top side of the speakerphone here is actually a 15-watt QI2 magnetic wireless charger. So you can actually put your phone right here. I'm using an iPhone. So this is kind of the same as a MagSafe charger, let's call it. So however you position the phone there, the phone will stay there and it will also charge the phone. So very cool. Not to mention you can actually adjust the angle of this. So whenever you have the speakerphone on your desk, you don't have to hold the phone. You can just mount the phone on the speakerphone like this. The phone will charge and you can also adjust the angle so you can see yourself the best. So a very cool feature, because this way your phone is not gonna run out of power. You don't have to hold your phone. So very convenient having something like this. Not to mention if you wanna watch a movie or a video or something like that, you can just put the phone like this and then the phone sits on that. You hear the sound through the speakerphone and you're hands-free basically. Looking at the back of the speakerphone, here we have a couple of microphones. We also have a couple of buttons. On the front we have 2 more microphones, so we have a total of 4 microphones, and I'll talk about those in just a second. And then we have some more buttons on the front here. So you can play music, you can turn up or down the volume, you have a mute button, and you also have the voice print recognition. So you can enable that or disable it just by pressing a button. Whenever it's enabled, that will be green. Whenever it's disabled, will be white. Now, because we have 4 microphones, you can basically talk from anywhere. So you don't necessarily have to be in front of the speakerphone. You can be to the side, you can be behind it, and you can talk nicely, and the speakerphone will capture your voice basically up to 3 meters away. So you don't necessarily have to stay next to it. You can actually move around. And whoever you're talking to, so on the other end, they're not actually gonna know that you're moving around. So the speakerphone will also increase or decrease your voice volume, so it kind of sounds the same on the other end. And I've actually done a quick test with my buddy Chris the other day. So let me play that recording so you can see how the quality of a call is on the other end if you're not sitting right next to the speakerphone. So let me play that for you. Okay, and next I want to show you how the speaker would capture sound if you're not exactly close to the speaker. So right now I'm on a call with Chris, of course, and I'm about a meter away from the speaker. Can you hear me all right, Chris?
Just fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna step back a bit. I'm gonna say this is about 2 meters away. How is the sound now?
Very good. It sounds like you're still next to it, really.
Okay, and I'm gonna step a bit back. So I'm gonna say now I'm about 3, 4 meters away from the speaker. Can you still hear me all right?
Still hear you loud and clear.
So that means that you don't necessarily have to be close to the speaker to have a conversation with someone. You can actually just move around because the speaker does have multiple microphones, so it will record the sound all around. Setting up the voice print recognition, it's also super simple. So you basically install the AnkerWork app on your smartphone. I did try it on my iPhone. You go through the setup. The setup takes about 2 minutes. You basically have to read the text in a quiet environment, and then the speakerphone will learn your voice. And to enable or disable the voice print recognition, you just press this button on the side here. So if it's green, it's enabled. If it's white, it's disabled. So very straightforward. Now, I also want to show you how the AI noise reduction works. So if you have a lot of noise around you, if you have your neighbor's dog barking, if you have your baby crying in the other room, you definitely don't want all that sound to go in the call because, well, it doesn't sound professional. So what I've done, I've called my buddy Chris, and we've tried a bunch of sounds. I had the speaker right next to me here, and I played a bunch of sounds, and I want to show you how that environment sounds and how the sound comes out on the other end. So we did have to record that from 2 sides. So first I'll play the side with the noise and then how the sound comes out on the other end. So let me play that and I will be right back. Alright, so for our first test I have Chris on the line here. We are doing FaceTime. We both have the speakers connected to our phones, and we are testing the noise reduction in these calls. So for our first call, I'm going to be tapping the pen on the desk so you can hear how the pen sounds when I'm tapping it on the desk. And I'm also going to play some dogs barking sounds. So now we have the dogs barking next to me here on a speaker. I'm going to be quiet for a second just so you can hear how this sounds. And basically the dog noise and the pen tapping shouldn't come through on the other end. Can you hear anything, Chris?
Absolutely nothing. I can just hear you.
Okay,
nothing else.
So the speakers do work as intended. So let me cut this and let me play the other end. So basically what Chris was hearing, so you can see how the noise reduction works basically. And we are testing the noise reduction in these calls. So for our first call, I'm going to be tapping the pen on the desk so you can hear how the pen sounds when I'm tapping it on the desk. And I'm also going to play some dogs barking sounds. So now we have the dogs barking next to me here on a speaker. I'm going to be quiet for a second just so you can hear how this sounds. And basically the dog noise and the pen tapping shouldn't come through on the other end. Can you hear anything, Chris?
Absolutely nothing. I can just hear you. Nothing else.
Okay, so the speakers do work as intended. Alright, so for our next test, once again I still have Chris on the line here, and I'm gonna be playing some baby sounds. Let's imagine for a second that your baby's crying while you're having a Zoom call for work. So let's play some babies crying. So you can definitely hear the baby crying in this setting here. How about you, Chris? Can you hear the baby crying in the background?
Absolutely nothing. I can hear no babies, just you again.
Okay, so on the other end, the baby crying, that doesn't come through. So let me play the other side, the other end of the recording so you can see how that sounds. So let's play some babies crying. So you can definitely hear the baby crying in this setting here. How about you, Chris? Can you hear the baby crying in the background?
Absolutely nothing. I can hear no babies, just you again.
Okay, so on the other end, the baby crying, that doesn't come through. Alright, and we're moving on to our next test. I still have Chris on the line here, and for this test we're gonna be imagining that your neighbor is cutting the lawn. So obviously it's gonna be loud if it's summer, if you have the windows open. So I'm gonna play some of that. Chris will tell me if you can hear that, so I'm gonna press play. So it is fairly loud in this recording. You can probably hear it next to my voice. But can you hear the noise behind me, Chris?
No, it's amazing. I can't hear any lawnmower at all. Wow.
Okay, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna stop this, and next let me play the recording that Chris got from his speaker. All right, and we're moving on to our next test. I still have Chris on the line here, and for this test we're gonna be imagining that your neighbor is cutting the lawn. So obviously it's gonna be loud if it's summer, if you have the windows open. So I'm gonna play some of that. Chris will tell me if you can hear that, so I'm gonna press play. So it is fairly loud in this recording. You can probably hear it next to my voice. But can you hear the noise behind me, Chris?
No, it's amazing. I can't hear any lawnmower at all.
Alright, and we're moving on to our next test. For this test, imagine for a second that you have a Zoom call for work. It's summertime, you have the windows open, but you live in a busy city. So of course there is gonna be like traffic around, it's gonna be noise. So let's see how the sound comes out on the other end, basically where Chris hears. So I'm gonna press play here. I'll give you just a second so you can see how the sound is in this room when I'm talking, basically. And let's see how Chris can hear this sound. Can you hear the traffic noise?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Again, just your voice. That's all I hear.
It is crazy loud in here, so I'm gonna stop this for a second, and next I'm gonna play the other recording from the other end of this conversation so you can see how that one sounds like. So I'm gonna press play here. I'll give you just a second so you can see how the sound is in this room when I'm talking, basically. And let's see how Chris can hear this sound. Can you hear the traffic noise?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Again, just your voice. That's all I hear.
And we're gonna be moving on to our last test. Once again, I do have Chris on the line here, and I'm gonna be playing some gaming noises. Let's imagine for a second that you have a kid that's playing a game behind you or something, and you do have a video call. So now I basically have some video sounds playing in the background. You can definitely hear those sounds here, but can you hear those sounds on your end, Chris?
Once again, it's amazing. I can't hear anything at all. No noise. Nothing.
Perfect. So that means that the speakers do exactly what they're intended to do. And with that being said, let me play that other end of the conversation so you can see how that sounds. Bye, Chris. A video call. So now I basically have some video sounds playing in the background. You can definitely hear those sounds here. But can you hear those sounds on your end, Chris?
Once again, it's amazing. I can't hear anything at all. No noise. Nothing.
Perfect. So that means that the speakers do exactly what they're intended to do. And with that being said, let me play that other end of the conversation so you can see how that sounds. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Alright, and I also want to show you how my voice would come through if there is someone else talking next to me. So for this test, I'm basically gonna play a documentary. I'm gonna press play right now. So now you should hear that voice aside from my voice. I'm gonna be quiet for a second just so you can hear that.
One goal and one goal only.
And we'll also see how my voice comes through on the other end of this call. For this I'm using FaceTime once again and basically calling another phone in a different location. Alright, and I also want to show you how my voice would come through if there is someone else talking next to me. So for this test I'm basically gonna play a documentary. I'm gonna press play right now. So now you should hear that voice aside from my voice. I'm gonna be quiet for a second just so you can hear that. And we'll also see how my voice comes through on the other end of this call. For this I'm using FaceTime once again and basically calling another phone in a different location. And as you've heard for yourself, nothing comes through on the other end of the call. So very, very impressive. So having this, it always feels like you're in a super quiet office, a super quiet environment. So much more professional sound than having a bunch of noise around you. Talking about noise, well, let's say that you're not working, but you have the speakerphone here. Well, you can actually use this for music as well. So this has a 5-watt output and 360-degree sound. So you can play music on this. If you want, you can put your phone on it and you can play a movie, a video. So for example, if you want to watch my videos, you put your phone like this, and then you can watch me all you want. So of course now the phone is charging. So this is not only a speakerphone for work, you can also use this for fun as a regular speaker. So there you have it. This was a super quick look at the AnkerWork S600 speakerphone that's not only great for work calls, but also regular calls with your family. You can use it as a speaker, you can use it as a charger for your phone, and much more. So a very, very cool product that will make your calls much, much better. The quality of your calls will be 100% better. No more background noise, no more noises that you don't want to be in those calls. As always, there will be some links in the video's description and any coupon codes there may be available for this product. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.